It was December or January 2014, or no, 2015. And I was in the middle of a 3 month long relapse slash relapse binge of nonstop drinking. And my family decided to send me to a mental health facility outside of Wilmington, Delaware, called Rockford. And, because couldn't stop drinking. Every time you relapse, it goes from 0 to 100 very fast, especially after a period of sobriety. You go right back to where you were before, and it just gets worse. And now I really don't remember a lot of this, what really was going on before I was sent to this place. I was really, really out of it and really acting strangely. And I guess people in my family thought I should go there to detox and just get my mental health back to normal. And I'm a very normal, nice guy when I'm sober. So I think I was just acting strangely because, during this relapse, my brain, I just wasn't there. I was acting a little erratic. And so I didn't really put up a fight. They wanted me to go there. I said, all right, I'll go here and I'll get better. I've been to rehab before. This wasn't rehab. It was a mental health facility, which I was a little skeptical about. I'm like, I'm not crazy. I don't know if I'm going to feel safe being around crazy people. I didn't really know that a lot of people go there to detox. And so I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I just remember getting there and them giving me like an hour-long question answer session, right? They answer all these ridiculous questions, and I was starting to come down off of drinking. And if you know what that's like after you've been on a binge and suddenly going through alcohol withdrawal, it feels horrible. You start getting shaky and lightheaded, and you feel like you can't breathe. I thought I was going to have a panic attack. So I told them that, and they gave me some shit, some Valium or something. I don't know, some pill, and I felt fine after that. And so they committed me, and they put me in a room with this young guy. And as soon as I walked in, I just wanted to go right to bed. And I said, hey, what's up to the guy, like hoping I wouldn't get into a long conversation so I could just get some sleep. And he didn't say anything back to me. He just totally ignored me. And I was like, all right, here we go. This guy's probably crazy. And so I'm trying to sleep, and he keeps waking me up because he's talking. And I realize very soon that he's talking to imaginary people. He's having conversations with people sitting up on his bed, and it's like there's like a group of 10 people around him. He's like turning his head talking to this guy, turning his head talking to that guy. And I'm just like, oh shit. I guess the guy was a schizophrenic or something. And I was just concerned. I was like, is this guy going to do some crazy shit if I try to sleep? But I didn't get a chance to sleep because the guy wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop talking over and over again, and walking around the room, talking to imaginary people. And it was driving me nuts, and I couldn't sleep. And, he was talking to people like he was having a good time and laughing and everything. And then later in the night, he started talking really quietly, and he started saying some really fucked up shit, like about, like, I don't like people fucking with me, blah, 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 and, getting aggressive. And I started getting worried, and I was just like, whatever. And then the mood changed again to him laughing, and then he started talking louder and louder, and I finally got up and I started screaming at him like, dude, shut the fuck up. And he was like, sorry. And he'd stopped. And then 10 minutes later, he was back to doing it again. So I went out to the the front desk and I said, can you guys please get me a room with somebody who's not schizophrenic? Why am I in this room with this guy? I'm here to detox. I don't have schizophrenia. I don't think it's fair. I can't sleep. And the guy at the front was like, look, we just put you in a room with whoever we can. Tomorrow we'll get you moved out. This is the only room we have available. So I'm just like, all right, I'll fall asleep eventually. Then I wake up the next morning, and the guy's right in my face, and he's got his hands on my throat. Now, he wasn't choking me or anything, but he had his hands on my throat like he was about to fucking do something. So I got up, and I grabbed him, and I put him in a headlock, and started cussing him out, like, what the fuck are you doing, blah, blah, blah. I was scared. I was scared, and I was defending myself, and I told him I was going to kick his ass if he touched me again. And he just went, sorry. And I went back to talking to himself again. So basically during the day, they put all of us into a room. And, half of the people, there were like 10 people maybe, girls and guys. Half of the people were there, to detox, or they were having troubles with addiction. The other half, were having some sort of mental breakdown or something. And, it was just a really laid back environment. We just had little group sessions and we'd talk. And then we'd watch TV the rest of the day. It was actually kind of relaxing, to be honest with you. And it was probably the kind of thing I needed at that point. So I didn't hate the experience. Another thing is I love watching people get angry. There's nothing funnier to me than watching people get angry and get into fights. It's sick, and I know I shouldn't get such enjoyment out of that, but this place was perfect because I swear to God there were like at least 6 fist fights a day there. Just people fucking flipping out of nowhere. They let us play basketball for like 10 minutes. We couldn't do that for more than 10 minutes because 2 dudes got into a fight. And there was this girl there who got into 3 fist fights because, she was just antagonizing people all the time. And there was this one guy in the group, I think his name was like Walter or something. I'm making that up. I don't remember what his name was. But he was this big guy, and he kind of was acting like he was running the place. Like he would tell people to turn the TV on for him, do this and that. I guess he was bigger than everybody, so he thought he could boss everyone around. That type of guy. I don't know what he was there for. I didn't ask. But he was always hanging out with this other chick there who kind of had a mustache. They were always hanging out, talking in their own little corner and everything. And remember one day we were all watching TV, and they're sitting next to each other, and they had a blanket. They were sharing a blanket. And, obviously at these types of places, you're not supposed to have any physical contact with anybody. And, everyone kept kind of looking over at him. And the guy had this look on his face. They were both sharing this blanket. And, she was sitting really close to him. And you could tell by the look on his face that, something was going on. And it turns out that she was jacking the guy off, in the room with everybody. I was sitting at least, 2 seats away from them while this is going on. So someone goes out and tells one of the people who works there, and they come in and start screaming at him and pull the blanket off. And you could see everything. It was right there in plain sight, and they had to separate them, and just like weird random shit like that happened. I was only there for 5 days. Just a whole bunch of shit like that happened, and to be honest with you, thinking about that period of my life, everything's really different now. That's why I feel okay telling these stories like this that are kind of fucked up. But I was there for 5 days, and I gotta say it was really interesting and really fun. If you like watching people flip out and go crazy and get into fights, it was enjoyable. And to me, it was relaxing. I calmed down a little bit. But yeah, a lot of people flipping out. This one dude started punching walls and shit, and they had to drag him out by his hands and feet. And he came back, and I guess they gave him Thorazine or something. And he just came back, and he was a total space cadet. And I remember thinking, like, looking at him and like how fucking out of it he was, and I was like, I bet that fucking feels great. And I think if I had stayed longer, I would have found some sort of way to, act up and flip out and see what that Thorazine was all about. But I didn't stay long enough. My insurance ran out, and I went back home. And I guess that's an interesting story.